All right, guys. UFC Fight Night Canada, Allen versus DeRitter has came to a close. What do I have to say about the card? Honestly, overall, pretty good. For a fight night, if I had to be honest, I'd probably say a 7 out of 10, a generous 7. There were some good finishes on this card, some not so good finishes, some very poor refing decisions on more than one occasion. Overall, I mean, about an average card. We had a few good Canadian fighters get wins. Man and Fiorot. Who else? Charles Jourdain got a nasty flying knee over Davy Grant that finished in a guillotine that he's known for, locking up that patented guillotine he speaks about. But we're gonna focus on the main event primarily today, as well as the co-main, because that was certainly something. But for the main event, Brendan Allen just, I mean, RDR had a good first round one. I'll be honest. He looked good. There wasn't much striking on the feet before he shot that single leg, I believe, and did his signature, go around to the back, get one hook in. Brendan actually had really good fight IQ out of nowhere for this fight. He's usually known for being the one making poor grappling decisions, really sloppy striking, which he seems to be looking a little bit sharper and follows a game plan, surprisingly on short notice. Maybe it was Bilal Muhammad controlling him. But yeah, so RDR has a first good round one. But round two comes around, and if I'm not mistaken, RDR tries to get back on it, but jumps the second hook a little too early and falls off. Very Brendan Allen style in his previous outings against Fluffy, I believe. And he ends up on bottom for, I want to say, about half the round after that and takes some beating. When RDR is implementing his powerful grappling, he's looking for subs. He isn't really looking to, break you down with nasty punches and ground and pound, maybe soften you up. He's looking to implement smooth, slick, patient jiu-jitsu, whether that be an arm triangle. We saw he primarily chased the rear naked choke here, but Brendan Allen did really good to create air traffic with his arms, keep them up, almost answering the phone like it was a Darce choke to just break the grip. I think there was a little bit of glove hooking on both sides. Personally, when I was watching it, I swear I saw Brendan Allen get a hook to fight off that rear naked grip. But if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I think that's such a low-level foul. All fighters do it a little bit. But after that, I mean, just the storm of Brendan Allen came through. Halfway through round two, he started, and he didn't stop till the end of the fight, truly. RDR, he looks tough at the end of round two, but you can tell he's a bit weathered. 2 rounds, it's really taken it out of him. I wonder if he was coming into this fight with anything. I didn't really have a strong pick on this. I assumed RDR would win, but for a guy that finished Bobby Knuckles, to gas out, I understand he's done it before, but I think that was against someone on the juice. I don't know. It just caught me off guard. Maybe he had a staph infection. I've seen a lot of Instagram posts talking about how he's making these big 30, 35-pound weight cuts all within the span of about 1 year, I want to say. This would have been his 5th fight in this year, taking a big, draining weight cut. So I think maybe that factored into it, but, Brendan Allen was just that guy tonight. Round 3 and round 4 swing around, and he does what he does since halfway around 2. Whether Rayner, if I'm not mistaken, Rayner did shoot again. I think he might have been the one to initiate every grappling sequence for the most part. Brendan seemed to be fine on the feet. RDR didn't have much form at all when he tried to stand. Brendan seemed to just counter grapple very well. He seems to be good at that. I'm much more technical with it now. But yeah, round 3, round 4, he just does the same thing. Gets top position, brutalizes RDR with the sharp elbows, short, gets that leverage on him. Some cuffing shots around the guard when he can. Rayner's trying all these goofy moves, like bending over his back with his knees sky high, thinking he's creating something, and just Allen's putting that pressure down on Rayner, and maybe that contributed to his fatigue, just having to hold that body posture. And I know Brendan was also flinging shots through the guard as the fight was going on there, but it was just too much for Rayner. End of round 3, he's very slow to get up. The ref does tell his corner not to touch him, so I know he was feeling it then. He gets up, though. He's looking quite discouraged in the quarter, but I figured, he'll rally. He'll come back. I'm sure he's been tired in every fight. But no, same thing happens. Allen does what he does, and at the end of round 4, Rayner is a different man. He's looks like he's about to throw up on the floor. I mean, exhaustion we've never really seen from him in the UFC at this point in his career, even when chasing a finish over the great GM3 in round 3, where he's known to thrive. And he quits on the stool. He doesn't say much, just like his guy's opponent when they're asking him if he's all right. But he quits on the stool. They're cutting off the gloves. Brendan Allen and his team start going wild. He just didn't answer the bell, and it's considered a TKO in round 4. Overall, I think it was a great display of fight IQ and MMA by Brendan Allen, recognizing that Reiner didn't actually have that much on the ground for him and was getting tired. Bilal was being actually a really good coach in the corner, and I think that's what helped Allen just make the right decisions. He was asking questions and getting the answers back. So great coaching in the corner of Allen. I think that really helped him, but I don't know what to say about Reiner. How do you finish Bobby Knuckles? But Brendan Allen on short notice just kills you. I mean, what would Fluffy have done to this man? In all honesty, I don't think I want to know at this point. From here, I really don't know what I see for Reiner. Obviously, he's nowhere near done. This could have been an off night. He can totally come back. He's looked good in previous outings. I really do think that Reiner is still something in the UFC divisions. Gosh, I mean, he's got to string together a couple. If I'm not mistaken, this is middleweight. So let's think I think Imavov's too much for him. I don't know. Maybe a Roman Dolidze or something. I can't really think of good style-wise matchups. I'm just thinking close rankings. I'm not familiar with RDR's ranking spot after this loss, or if he was even in there for the first place. I think he was 15 maybe. I could be wrong on that. Low-level ball knowledge at the moment. But yeah, RDR, take some time off, enjoy Christmas with the family, and come back strong some point, maybe a little bit before summer or during summer. But Brendan Allen, pretty good performance on short notice. I think he's going to be ranked higher than Fluffy, who kind of dog-walked him, if I'm not mistaken. I still think he needs 1, maybe 2 more good fights before he can really cement himself as a title contender, because it seems like the heavier divisions are starting to sort themselves out with their title contenders, like 170. It's a logjam, but like the guys who are going to be in the line. Maybe not the order that they're in, but everybody who's kind of up there. Brendan Allen, he did call out Sean for a rematch. I don't really know if I want that fight. I mean, I don't know what it does for the division. Now, I can't name an insane amount of other fights that'd be good. I've seen a lot of people saying DDP. That would be goofy, but I would 100% be there and probably pick DDP to win that, but it would be a tough fight. It seems like Brendan Allen's maybe not the greatest on any given night, but he certainly can hang with the top dogs in the middleweight division. So I would match him up probably against a DDP or maybe a Baraujo, because I think Imavov is now the cemented number 1 title contender with Fluffy not being in the picture because he beat Allen at this point. So yeah, I would say Baraujo or DDP for Allen next. We move on to the co-main event. Gosh, I mean, you can see here a Bloodsport gif, hilarious. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I think Mike Mallet is a pretty good fighter. Got finished by Neal, not a great look, but Unk still got it. We saw that recently with him, so I still think he's someone to take seriously in a fight, and he's not a can or a bottom feeder. Beats Kevin Holland, but like this person said, 2 low blows within 30 seconds is crazy. And I mean, getting into the point deduction not being taken, I mean, that just goes back to bad reffing, and it seems a bit of favoritism in the home country, but I mean, you can't be surprised. Everybody does it. Yeah, I really don't. See, it's one of those things because Holland just wasn't really giving a strong answer. Like, I'm so hurt I can't continue. Holland does this thing where he's like, you didn't beat me. Like, you couldn't beat me at my best because I would beat you, but I lost because of this, you know? It looked like Holland was trying to get it waved off, taking the 5 minutes and then some, and really being vague with the ref, the doctor, and then in round 2 just holding his cup the entire round, and Mallet's kind of confused, like, am I supposed to tee off on him, or, like, do I give him another timeout? Like, I don't know. And you can see there's quite a bit of of heat on these posts. I mean, well, there's some appreciation from a Canadian. Very nice people. Worst reffing on of any card of all time. I don't know. Bobby Green versus Jalen Turner was pretty bad. So we're just awarding blatant fouls. Yeah, it definitely feels like eye pokes, groin shots, cage grabs are not punished severely enough. I mean, Drew Dober didn't even get a warning. Granted, it was a pretty bad low blow. He just got the point taken straight away. Shout out Drew Dober, great finish this weekend. But yeah, it's very inconsistent. This isn't good, and you think it'd be clear cut, black and white, but unfortunately it isn't. I don't really know. For Holland, feed him another can, see what he does. I can't really think of any straight cans at 170. It seems to be a pretty good division right now, but I'm sure we can find him someone, probably someone out of my knowledge, because if D-Rod's beating you, then I don't know how much longer you got. I don't think D-Rod's hitting the prime of his career. He's quite up there in age. But for Mike Mallet, I don't know. He needs to show that he's legit, because he got dropped. You look at him. He is busted up. He's bleeding. That was the case with the Cheeto Vera fight. I mean, the damage was put on the Canadian fighter, but I think the Canadian fighter did enough to win in a decision sense. Mike's got to get another kind of low ranking, maybe just outside the rankings win. I'm not familiar with Holland's position at this moment. Could be around top 15. He might have fallen out of the rankings just because the people he's lost to, but yeah, I don't know. A rematch would be such a dumb idea with Neil Magny. Maybe a Mike Mallet versus Jeff Neal. I know I think he's coming off that Carlos Pratos knockout, but that was a few months ago, and Mallet isn't known for his activity, so I think maybe some time in between we could see that being a potential matchup, and it would honestly set Mike up to actually get a really good finish if Jeff Neal's a bit over the hill. But if Jeff Neal's still him and he goes and puts on a good performance, but Mike still gets it done, it's a good look that Mike can handle a tough fight, because I don't think the fight against Kevin was necessarily tough. He needs to sharpen up, because what if Holland didn't get low blood? Would he have ended up knocking Mallet down again and got the finish? I don't know, but yet to be seen. Overall, not a great card. Definitely a bit of controversy. Quite the upset. You know, I believe every single social media and just betting page pretty much all went with Rayner. Shout out Tony Morello. He went with Allen. I was like, Allen? And he was like, he's going to do it. Trust. So, yeah. Just quite a card. Nothing bad, nothing great. A bit underwhelming, if I had to say something about it. But middleweight has been shaken up quite a bit. 170 hasn't changed, and there's still a logjam, which is okay. I don't think Mallet was anywhere near a title shot to begin with. The rest of this card was pretty good. This being my first video, I'll probably try to start tackling full card lineups, but I figured just for first video we'd recap what's going on. It's only a day after UFC Canada, and it seemed like there wasn't a lot of people on the card that would be known by the average fan outside of the Canadian fighters maybe, but these were some pretty big fights in a sense of huge upset and huge disappointment. But thank you all for watching. I'll probably look to release fight predictions for the card coming up later this week. Y'all have a good night, and peace out.